President Trump on Wednesday played down a brutal December for Wall Street and called on the Federal Reserve to help boost the declining stock market. Trump told reporters Wednesday that the bloody December for U.S. stocks were caused by a little glitch and predicted a strong 2019 for the market. He predicted that stocks would rise close to 30% by year's end after the president finalizes trade deals with China and the European Union. Last year was the worst for U.S. stocks since 2008, and this past month was the bloodiest December for Wall Street since the Great Depression. While stocks skyrocketed from Trump's 2016 election through the end of 2017, the market turned sour in 2018, and rising threats to the global economy, amid rising threats to the global economy. Now, let's take a refresher course on Trump for the first 2 years of him being in office and his reception to the stock market. Oh, the economy's doing so great. The economy's wonderful. It's so great. Very quick to brag about it, right? But do you see how the second something becomes politically inconvenient, he abandons it? And this goes back to the lack of character that he has, but also just to him being an empty suit. And I've said it before on this channel, this isn't the I hate Trump show. The real reason the economy is doing the way it is because people who are already rich are getting stock buybacks, and therefore this one rich person's contribution is the equivalent of multiple people of lower pay contributing. But because that's not a common thing that's happening over and over again, which would be the case if loads of individuals were able to afford the various things that are offered at this point, it's going down. And we've the simple way to solve all this to raise the wages, which have been stagnant for 40 years. And that's something that both Democrats and Republicans in that time period have failed to do. So again, this is not an endorsement of the Democrats. This is not an indictment of the Republicans. It is a frustration with a characteristic that seems like it goes unabated. All of his supporters that I used to see on Twitter and other places who were telling me about this great economy are now abandoning praising him for that and focusing on this border wall as if there aren't other issues. These are the kind of things where what is very likely to happen is we're going to get the market to crash either this year or next year. I think it's very likely it will happen while he's still in office. And then, his supporters will try to blame the Democrats, even though the Republicans had control of Congress for 2 full years and did nothing to stop this. And they just don't get it. That stupid tax cut from, December of 2017 had 83% of the wealth go to the top 1%. And when those people get more money, this little trickle-down economic crap doesn't happen. They keep it for themselves. That's why Bezos over at Amazon had his workers on food stamps while he was making billions of dollars a year. They are greedy. They want to save their money for themselves. So when you give them more money with the little hope that they'll do something with it that helps other people, they stick a middle finger in your face and say, I'm doing this for me. So the free market system is a scam to help out those that have already been put over the top. And this is, Trump continuing to pretend as though he's not responsible for any of the stuff that he was taking credit for before. You don't get to take credit for something and then now, it's going bad. Well, I have no idea how that happened. Or if it did, it's not me. It's just like the shutdown. There's still a clip of him, Schumer, and Pelosi, as well as Pence, in the Oval Office or whatever room that was, and him saying, yes, I will take credit for the shutdown. And then after it happens, it's the Democrats. So this is already going to be a catastrophic, series of events that are going to happen. And they're going to be brought on by people being in power that don't know what they're doing, and in a lot of cases are beholden to donors. The reason the wages won't be raised is because these companies give money to these politicians. for them to support keeping the wages as itty-bitty as possible so that the people at the top can make as much money as possible for themselves and then scratch the back of the politicians that scratch their backs. This is not a system that's that hard to figure out, but people keep turning their brains off to it. Or if they do acknowledge it, they only want to, acknowledge it for one side. So into the toilet we go.